Is alive and well here, yes. Welcome back, Sound of Light Choir. And this morning we are also welcoming our dance ministry is here, Spirit, I want to say Spirit Motion. Is that right? There you go. Sound of Light, Spirit in Motion. We are all of one mind this morning. Please welcome as we sing our opening song for you to enjoy and to celebrate today. Light Choir, good morning.
Good morning, and welcome to Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. Not feeling 100%, and so to be in the energy of that just takes me where I need to be. They say that what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. It didn't for me, so my lungs are emptying out of all the cigarette smoke and all of the other stuff, and but what I would, no place I'd rather be than right here today, receiving all of this beauty. So thank you, choir, so very, very much. Beautiful job. Just a wonderful shout out to our creative arts team and to Penelope and the band and the dancers. Thank you so much for contributing. More and more and more, I am convinced of the importance and the value and the breathtaking, stunning elegance of our creative arts team. And so what I know is they are just as valued as anything else that transpires in this building. So I'm just in deep, deep awe. So thank you so much for being here. We conclude our series of love today and some wonderful things to share with you that happened in conference. But speaking of conference, please welcome Mr. Las Vegas himself.
Good morning. Good morning. Well, I remember last week it was luck be a lady. Well, luck was no lady. Luck was no lady for me. She's cruel, unkind, lost some money. Anyways, no, we're just not going to dwell on that. Anyways, welcome. Welcome to the Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. For those of you that are joining us for the very first time, we are a center that recognizes everyone on their spiritual path. And we hope to be a place of great inspiration, thus allowing you to tap into your inherent greatness and to live the life you love. And we do that in so many different ways throughout the week, throughout the month. This month is ending, but we've got big stuff coming up into next month. So we want to finish out this month strong and go into next month even stronger. So let me just bring you up to date on a few quick things. Of course, our online Spiritual Living Institute is going gangbusters. Here to give us a quick update, the beautiful Tracy Owens is back.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. So I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to all of the January participants who participated in the survey. The survey is an incredible tool for me and for all of us at SLI and SLCA to get to know more about your experience during those courses. So if you haven't, those participants who have not filled out the survey, that is still available, and I encourage you to do so. I got some really great feedback, and I'm just grateful for that. I'm also grateful for all of the participants that signed up for the February courses with Dr. Will Coleman and Jeff Seeley. Those courses are going beautifully, and we're getting ready to launch our March courses, March the 1st. And so I'm going to highlight a couple of those courses for you today. But before I do that, I also want to say thank you. Thank you to the blog authors, the blog readers, and the blog sharers. What we are finding with working closely with our marketing team is that is how we are building momentum with Spiritual Living Institute. So if you haven't visited our blogs on spirituallivinginstitute.org, I encourage you to do so. Rich material from amazing authors and teachers and leaders and ministers all across the globe. And we have the privilege of offering that material to you. And it's free. Go ahead, check out the website. We'd love for you to share it with your friends and help me build some more momentum with SLI. Two courses I want to highlight. One is called Vision Quest, Manifesting Your Greatest Visions, Dreams, and Ideals. And who in here has ever experienced a Vision Quest before? Do you know what that is? Yeah, I know, right? It's an amazing, amazing experience. Well, this course is being offered by Munishwarji Walking Tall. I am proud to say that he is one of my amazing metaphysical shamanism teachers. I've been studying with him for 4 years, and this course is amazing. Munishwarji says that Vision Quest is an ancient shamanic rite of passage practiced by all the indigenous peoples all over the world. This is one of the most ancient means for discovering and expressing one's own life purpose. Wrong page. A vision quest is an initiatory process in which one comes face to face with the all-pervasive power of spirit. During a vision quest, one encounters and faces one's own limitations, transcending them in order to live a new God-reliant existence. During this experiential 4-week online course, we will focus on expanding our inner vision, connect with the guides and guardians from beyond, and focus on awakening the 6 energy centers that are responsible for our inner vision. Again, that's a 4-week course, and doesn't that sound intriguing? Doesn't everybody want to sign up for that? Okay, now we have another course that I want to tell you about, but rather than me telling you about it, we're going to call up Greta Counts and let her tell you about the course that she's offering. Welcome, Greta Counts.
Good morning, Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. How are you? Awesome. I remember when one of my daughters, Chayla, was 8 years old, and she noticed that I looked very stressed. She asked me what was wrong, and I said to her that I was concerned about not meeting one of my goals. Out of her genuine concern for me, and in her effort to help me feel better, she looked at me and said in the most quiet voice, "Mommy, the goal is not the goal is you." In that moment, I realized that in her innate wisdom, that she was absolutely right. She's now 23 years old, and that was 15 years ago. But when she said that, a sense of peace came over me. It was in that moment that I realized that the goal is always ourselves. Whenever there is something that we want to achieve in our lives, it's not about the thing that you're going for. It is about the ultimate goal, which is you. It is from that space that I developed my course, this online course called The Courage to Be Great. GREAT is an acronym for grow, renew, evolve, awaken, and transform. And the idea is to help you to create self-knowledge through self-understanding so that you can become your authentic self and reach for the goal of you. Here's what you can expect from the course. You can expect to claim your inner power. You can expect to develop a quiet confidence that is going to give you inner peace. You can expect to learn how to become more inner directed and how to shape the way your life unfolds. I invite you to join me on this course and on this journey, but only if you're open and willing to experience tremendous confidence and self-belief. This course will remind you of how truly great you already are, but it will also help you create the life that you desire and deserve. I look forward to meeting you because your dreams are waiting on you to come true. I'll see you March 1st.
It's like, how do you choose? How do you choose? You sign up for both. That's how you do that, right? So just a quick reminder, this is asynchronous learning. So 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, this material is available you for a 4-week period of time. There's no set time for classes, so you can do this wherever you are all around the globe. Greta and I will be out at the table to answer questions that you may have about the courses, spirituallivinginstitute.org. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy. Women in Spirituality Evolving, or Wise Women as we refer to them. They are having their monthly meeting today in the first classroom, so just a reminder to you ladies. Also, Baji's going to start a new Tai Chi series. This coming Tuesday, the 24th, she's going to do an introduction session to get you up to speed on Tai Chi and give you some pointers on how to get started. And then the actual series starts March 3rd through March 24th. And that's going to be $35 for the 4-week series paid at the first class, or you can pop in and out for $10 a pop. So you can see Baji, she's here. Raise your hand, Baji. So she's here if you have any questions about Tai Chi, but it's become hugely popular, so congratulations, Baji. Now, Black History Month. We're concluding the month of February, which is Black History Month. Hopefully you've been able to take advantage of some of the opportunities and events throughout the city of Atlanta and also through us here at Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. We've got one more finale event you do not want to miss this coming Friday, February the 27th from 7 to 9. That's this Friday. Again, 7 to 9 p.m. Special Profiles in Black History presented by SLCA members featuring a diverse cast of characters from slavery to present day. Entertainment including music, dancers, and drummers, followed by feasting and fellowship. Please plan to attend and bring your friends and all your family with you. It's going to be a fun time this Friday, 7 to 9, Lower Sanctuary. You don't want to miss that. So please join us. Also, the LGBT/O, O for Oneness, remember, they've reorganized. They were planning an event for Saturday the 28th, And it's gotten so big with so much response, I'm happy to say we're going to move it here because we need the space. So basically, it can fit in someone's home. So we're going to do it right here Saturday night, also at 7 o'clock. So just make sure you got that straight, or you can come to both. I don't care what you do, but definitely, but just make sure you end up, because somebody's going to be surprised if they're not. So Greg Lavoie is our speaker next week on March the 1st, so please join us for that. He's an award-winning author, and he's got a brand new book called Vital Signs, The Nature and Nurture of Passion. So he'll be speaking at both services, and he's going to do a workshop right after that from 2 to 5, and that's Love Offering. So hopefully you can join us for that. And then Friday, March the 6th, just a reminder, there's these little cards out there in the lobby. We're co-sponsoring an event with our sister centers, Spiritual Living Center of Midtown, also Trinity Centers for Spiritual Living, and also MCC, or the New City of Light. We are sponsoring a movie presentation, Journey of the Soul, Walking El Camino de Santiago. We are hopefully going to get amazing representation from our center, as they are hoping to get it as well. All the proceeds are going to go to the Khmer Foundation in Cambodia for David's school. David did this very walk in Spain, and he's going to be there to speak, along with some other people who've made that journey. So the movie, the presentation by them, all proceeds going to the Khmer Foundation. So if you wanted to also be a part of the Cambodia, the movement, and what those people, our people, did over there, please join us for this event. Get the cards out in the lobby. Registration is on CSL Midtown's site, not ours. So you need to go to their site to do it through PayPal, or you can get it at the door. So please make sure you get that information as well. Any first-time visitors joining us for the very first time today, raise your hands high in the sky. Stand on up. We want to welcome you to this community. We've got a gift for you. Welcome, welcome. What you're receiving is a CD case. You may redeem that at our welcome table for a CD of Reverend Dr. David Ault's talks, especially selected for you. We have new member orientation on Sunday, Easter Sunday, April the 5th, so please join us for that if you are welcome. You are welcome to do so. And if you could shut off any cell phones you might have, we've got a great service plan for you, and I don't want any cell phones going off, because you know how that gets me every time. Have a great day and a blessed week.
Join me with your programs as we stand, and on the inside is called our Declaration of Principle. And it's an honor every week to be able to say this together, so I invite you to join me. I believe in one God, one absolute power and first cause to all things. I believe that this power is perfect love, and it creates out of a desire to express love. I believe that all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience. I believe in the unity of all life and the immortality of the individual soul forever unfolding. I believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of God to all. Your song is on your handout. Daniel Nahmod's Love Is My Decision. welcome those around you and say good morning to Spiritual Living Center of Atlanta. And so, like many other spiritual centers and organizations globally, we are participating in what is called the Season for Peace and Nonviolence. This particular time frame was built around the bookends of the memorials of Gandhi and Martin Luther King. And as we look upon ourselves for our own personal responsibility of how we can uphold those two qualities of peace and nonviolence in the way in which we interact with the world, we lovingly and joyously participate in that. And it's been our privilege during this season to invite our young ones and our teens. And today we have one of our young adults who teaches our teens. Shayun Mendez is going to come and speak to us about this today.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thanks for having me. It's an honor and it's a pleasure. So I give gratitude this morning for all of you and for the invitation. So I'd just like to share a little bit about what peace and nonviolence means to me. So part of my responsibility, peace and nonviolence to me means responsibility to humanity. And part of my responsibility to humanity is to teach meditation to children and to adults. Through my organization, I currently teach mindfulness meditation techniques to third graders in public school. The first day of this volunteer initiative, I remember feeling extremely nervous, sort of how I'm feeling a little bit right now. There were multiple thoughts going through my mind at once. What am I doing here? I mean, what am I going to teach these children? Am I really going to be able to teach them how to maintain stillness and to be in peace in their space? Non-attachment, Sharon, I told myself. Observe the thoughts and show up for the moment. I entered a classroom of 17 boys and girls, moving tables and chairs to create the circle for our meditation. I could tell the glimmer of excitement, curiosity in their eyes, and in some of them, lack thereof. I knew in that moment that I was doing it, that I was experiencing, for me, what it means to be responsible to humanity. Being responsible to humanity means understanding and knowing that we are all interconnected beyond our wildest imagination. That at the core of this interconnectedness is a resounding peace that is who we are. If we listen and attain this space of peace, we can follow in the footsteps of great teachers such as Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King. And if we don't, if we resist this essence, this gift of our humanity, then we are in danger of repeating the atrocities and genocides of the 20th century. So to me, peace and nonviolence means that we have a responsibility to know and value ourselves and our humanity and to share this with others. Thank you.
And so as Shayun lights the candle, what I ask of you is that you take a moment that you look at the candle, and in some way, in some fashion, allow yourself to internalize what peace means to you and to reignite that vow to be that vessel of truth. And so it is. And so as you prepare for our prayer and meditation time, I invite you to take everything off of your lap. If you would, maybe even uncross your legs and arms as if receiving a gift. And we are privileged to be led in our treatment today by Reverend Sandra.
Thank you for this, Oscar. I accept it with a humility I have never possessed. I couldn't resist. Okay. Let me tell you just a very brief story. In October of the fall, last fall, I found out that I was going to be dealing again with some more cancer stuff. And so I started my chemo in October, and in November, my kitty cat, Andy, one of my babies, I have 2 kitty cats and 2 dogs who are my kids, and he was not eating. He stopped eating. He wanted to stay in the room all the time, didn't want to do anything. And I had also noticed a little growth on his neck, so I took him to the vet, and she said, oh yes, we'll get him eating, but I'm afraid that might be cancerous too. And well, I'm more afraid for my kitty cat than I am for me. So I told my brother this, and my brother's in LA, and he practices our teaching also. And he said, Andy is afraid. Andy's scared you're going to die and give him away and give him to somebody that he doesn't know. Now you got to talk to Andy and tell him you're not going to be leaving him and that you're going to be here with him. And so I began doing that. And I talked to my kitty cat. In fact, I talked to all my animals every day. But I would lift Andy up and I would say, I'm here. I'm going to be taking care of you. I'm going to live forever. I'm going to be here long. I'm going to be here singing my song. And I told this to one of my friends, and she says, well, is Andy better? And I said, I don't know, but I sure as hell am. So I genuinely believe that that's when my inner healing began. And as I told Reverend David this morning, it is healing. And if it's not already healed, it's healing right now. I'm going to see a shaman. I'm going to be here. We're going to be doing treatments. We're going to be doing everything in the possible thinking world and acting world that we can. And I want each of us to realize how powerful our words are, as well as our actions, as well as our attitudes. That this speaking to my kitty cat was one of those things that was going to him, but my words were also coming to me. And that is what was most powerful for me. So let's take just a moment, and if you would get comfortable, whatever that means for you. And we will know together that in the power of the universe, there's only one God. There's only one spiritual substance. There is only one spiritual source, one creative intelligence, an infinite power that is beyond our understanding and yet within the grasp of our understanding and our use. And we do this on a daily basis. We do this moment by moment because we are one with this creative intelligence, the supreme being, this attitude, this whatever it is, the thing itself. We are one with it. And I declare for each one of us that we know the right words to say for our own benefit and for the benefit of what it will bring in our lives and in our knowledge and the change and actions of our attitudes as we go about in the world with our family, with our friends, in our communities, with our church, our work, wherever that is, knowing that always that our words are powerful. They bring the things that we need and that we want and that we desire. And so we choose them carefully. And we say them each day to ourselves, and maybe in different ways each time that we say it. It matters not how we say them. But the thing is I declare that we each know what to say, how to say it, and how to be. And I know that there's nothing that can stand between me and the power of God, that I am always in access of that one unique thing that brings me life and gives me life over the days, over the weeks, over the years. And I know and declare again, my words are powerful. They bring to me an attitude, an emotional stability, an active and good life. And I know this is the truth of me. I know it is the truth of you. And together we say, and so it is.
Please join as we sing together our congregational song, With Every Prayer.
Breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me. As I open and allow, I know right here and now, I create a world where wonders never cease. With every prayer, I breathe the heart of God. I breathe the love of God through me.
So beautiful. The song we're about to sing was first performed in 1900 as part of a celebration for Abraham Lincoln, President Lincoln's birthday in 1900. And it was a poem originally written by the principal of the segregated Stanton School, James Weldon Johnson, in honor of the celebrated guest Booker T. Washington coming to speak at the school. It was later put to music by his brother, John Rosamond Johnson. You know it as Lift Every Voice and Sing. It is now the national black anthem for African Americans' music and words of liberation and freedom. So will you stand as we sing together, should you know the lyrics? Lift every voice and sing.
With
Amazing, amazing talent and heart. Thank you so much, choir. Yes. And so for the last Sunday of this month of February, a month that we have dedicated to the exploration of love, love beyond language, but love as energy, love as vitality, love as life itself, love as the consciousness that creates and perpetuates all that we equate to God, love as the calling for you and I to never, never stop in our quest for the embodiment of that, realizing that there is no ceiling, there is no cap to what that is. And so it's the eternality and the perpetual nature of uncovering and uncovering and uncovering all that is love, and to be able to be that. To be in that pursuit is to live a life on purpose. To be in pursuit of that is to live and to breathe in what we call integrity. And anything unlike that offers us and affords us the opportunity in consciousness to continuously course correct. And don't we have a wonderful world that offers us the opportunity to course correct? Isn't it amazing how it just continuously gives us opportunities to grow? And so as we explore this, and I'm really asking you for the final part of this series, what is it that you are doing and what will you vow to do in order to make love more than just a word, more than just a sentiment, but actually a lifestyle and a choice? And so in order to guide us through this month, I chose a small work, a book called True Love, which was written by the Vietnamese Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, who has devoted his entire life to the teaching of mindfulness. Mindfulness, the art of the now, the art of being aware. And as he spoke and wrote about this particular topic of what he called true love, and I actually like that title. I do believe that there is such a thing as true love, and then there is artificial love. And I think that most of us have forgotten the fact that many of the things that we call love are actually artificial. They're conditional by nature. But true love and the attainment of true love, or the return to true love, he broke down into very clear and four tangible parts. The first one we talked about was being present, and by that being physically present. And even though we think that we are physically present with people, what has happened is that we have lost the art of being with one another, of eye contact. I made it a point in the conference this past week to gravitate towards all of the things that were centered around the young adults. I went to their meetings, I listened to them, I bragged about our own young adults. And as I engaged with them, one of the things that refreshed my heart and really gave me deep gratitude for what our future will be was the fact that these young adults looked me in the eye. And I knew that they were fully present. And as they spoke and as they talked about moving from the me to the we, they were very sincere in regards to that. And so this act of being present is the prerequisite for you and I being the instrument of love, to be present with another individual. The second part blends beautifully into the idea of we must then begin to recognize others. And in this idea of recognition, it's recognizing that beyond their behavior lies the presence and the continuance of God for every single person. We've often heard the phrase, if they knew better, they would do better. And I add to that most of these people that you and I encounter, ourselves included, are operating in tandem with their own cultivated belief system. What I know about a belief system and the cultivation of that is that the cultivation of separation that has been massaged and brought to the light can also be dissolved and replaced by something truer. And so as I looked at these steps, being present and recognizing others, I thought it would be really easy for me to continue to talk to you this morning using you and we. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to alter that, and I'm going to speak I. I'm going to own up to all of this. It's going to be really fun. But know that the I is the universal I. Just when we pray, when you hear our practitioners do an affirmative prayer, a spiritual mind treatment, they speak from the I, and they invite you and I to be a part of that universal one and to take it for yourself. So I get to learn how to be present. I get to practice that often. I get to understand and recognize others and where they are. And in so doing, it blends then beautifully into the third thing, which is offering compassion. Because you see, when I start to realize that everyone is operating in tandem with their belief system, that same truth holds for me. And I hope, I trust, and it is my prayer that I haven't reached the maximum of what it is there is to know in consciousness. That the journey of that and the unfoldment of that is continuous. Again, to the degree of my willingness and my participation. And so as I look at this model of offering compassion, it is a homage to mindfulness. It is that idea that Thich Nhat Hanh encourages, that when we do these things, they're all rooted in mindfulness. When I'm being present with another individual, I'm practicing being in the now. I'm not thinking of, God, I hope this conversation ends. I got things to do. That I'm being with that person fully. When I'm recognizing another individual, I'm in that moment, in the now, seeing their entire story being played out through their opinions, through their body language, through their languaging, through everything that comes through. I can pick up in that moment of the now where they have come from. And I can know for them a greater reality. And that becomes my job. And in so doing, I began to offer compassion to them. And I also have to reverse all of this and offer compassion to myself. And to realize that I too am a product of the culmination of the tandem, the operation of my beliefs in tandem with my consciousness. And so when I start to see all of these things, and when I equate them to this quest of true love, what I've come to understand about us as a species is that a lot of times what we have done without realizing it is we have normalized mediocrity. And by normalizing mediocrity, it means that what we have done is we have become to this place where we accept less than what we are capable of. We accept less with regards to our ability to love. We accept less with regards to our ability to communicate. We have great goals and aspirations, but in the normalization of mediocrity, they just become a thing, as if they're unattainable, as if they're just dinner table conversation, but there's no reality in those things. And so even though we talk concept and even though we talk dreams, where is the action that is put behind that? And as I began to look at the way I have normalized mediocrity, I've seen the way in which I've said things and done things and aspired to things, but I haven't really followed through with them. And to me, that's being mediocre with regards to the origin of who I am, the origin of who you are. This origin having its roots in the eternality of all that is wisdom, of all that is God, of all that is power. And so when I think about mindfulness and I think about the fact that we are called to a higher ideal, I am called to a higher ideal. I think about the statement that Albert Camus, the French Nobel Prize-winning writer, said that thousands upon thousands of us are moving about carrying our own corpse. And as we move about this life carrying our own corpse, it means that we have an investment in what happened, so we're living in the past, or we are in our imagination from a taintedness of worry about what's to happen in the future. And so we are not fully present. And either that past or that worrisome future is killing the essential nature of who and what we are. And it is starving our ability to be an advocate for true love. And then he gives us, Thich Nhat Hanh gives us the fourth component for this template of being able to course correct back to this divine ideal. And he said the fourth one to him, and to be honest, he said is probably the most challenging. And he called the fourth component overcoming pride. Overcoming pride. He sets it up beautifully by telling an ancient Vietnamese story that is passed through the Zen tradition. And he said there was a young married couple. The wife is pregnant, and the husband is called off to war. And he's gone for 3 years. And during this time, she's managing, she gives birth to a son. But in 3 years' time, he has the right to be able to return to his homeland and to return to his family. And so there's cause for great celebration. And he reunites with his wife and with the newborn that he had never seen, who's now 3 years old. And he said, it's time for celebration. And as is custom in Asian culture, even today, they have what's called a spirit house. And a spirit house is a little shrine that every home, every business erects in front of them. And they put incense and they have candles and they put pictures of their ancestors. And because what they believe is that they want to incorporate the entire lineage of their life and of the people who have come before them with regards to all things present, with regards to all things celebratory. And so the young husband tells the wife, go to the market, buy all of the things for our spirit house so that we can celebrate the reuniting of our family. And as she leaves to go to the market, he confronts his son, who he's never really had a conversation with. And he goes, can you call me Papa? Can you call me Papa? And the little 3-year-old says, you're not my Papa. My Papa comes and sees my mother every night. My Papa cries when my mother cries, stands when my mother stands, lies when my mother lies. He's here every evening bringing us comfort. You're not my Papa. And the young husband becomes humiliated and incensed. So much so that when the wife returns from the market with all the goods for the offering at the spirit house, he shuns her and he ignores her and he will not speak to her. She has no idea why he's behaving that way. He goes through the ritual of honoring the ancestors. He lays out the mat. He does his prayers and his praises. And instead of leaving the mat for his young wife, he rips it up and he ignores her because he feels as though she is not befitting of this particular ceremony. And he leaves the home that day and he goes to a bar where he stays all night and drinks, comes home in the early morning and continues this process of ignoring her over the course of a few days. And in agony, the wife has no idea what is going on. And so she takes her agony and she goes to the banks of a river where she walks in and she drowns herself. That night, it is now the young father's responsibility to customarily light the candle for the evening. As soon as he lights the candle and his shadow hits the wall, the little boy goes, Papa. And as he looks at the shadow on the wall, he goes, that's Papa. That's the Papa who comes every night. That's the Papa who my mother talks to. That's the Papa who cries when my mother cries. That's the Papa who rises when she rises. And that's my Papa who lies when he lies. And the young man realized that in order for his young wife to cope with his absence all of those years, that she had talked to her own shadow. And he said that what this is, and the greatest hurdle in being the vessel for true love, is the damage of misperception. The damage of misperception, which in and of itself is tied into the idea of overcoming pride. And as I read that story in this book, and as I thought about my own my own intent and my own vow to be a vessel of true love. I look at the ways in which my pride gets in the way of being that authentic vessel. Because what could have happened in that story is this. There could have been communication. Communication whereby any of us could say, what's going on? This is what I'm feeling. And then the expression of that feeling, clarity, hopefully becomes the gift that is brought to that particular situation. But when we hold on to our pride and when we vow to not communicate, several different things happen. Our misperceptions then continue to evolve and to expand and to grow. And those misperceptions then become the way in which I view the world. Have you ever had the experience of misperceiving the world? Misperceiving communication, misperceiving anything. Misperception is to perceive incorrectly. When I was going through ministerial training many years ago, we had an assignment about paradigm shifts and how paradigm shifts are a part of mindfulness, and that any given moment, the paradigm or the awareness about a situation can do a complete 180. And you are shrouded with and engulfed in a whole different attitude about a particular thing. There was a similar story, much like the Zen, the Vietnamese tale, where we were given an example of a young father in a grocery line with two boys, two very rambunctious boys. And he doesn't seem to be disciplining them very much. They're grabbing the candies and they're grabbing all of the stuff and they're whining and they're complaining, and one of the little boys is crying. And it's as if the young father's just standing there completely out of it. And as he's trying to pay for his groceries, he's dropping his bills and his coins, and the clerk can see that he's distraught. And she says to him, "Can I help you?" And he says, "I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I'm holding up the line. I apologize for my boys. They lost their mother 3 weeks ago, and we still haven't gotten systems together to really know how to do it. I'm so apologize for this." And we were told in class, what were you thinking when you were in the line before you had that information? That's misperception. And you see, if we have normalized mediocrity, it means that the moment that we jump to the misperception, the moment that we jump to the assumption, I am acting in a mediocre fashion because I'm perceiving incorrectly. And when I start to see that, I can now then, once I become aware of that, begin to change the course of that. But if I don't, then I become the person who believes everything that I hear. Did you know that you're not supposed to believe everything that you hear? I had no idea. But if I believe everything that I hear, then I'm acting in misperception. The other part is much like the story. If I'm unable to speak my feelings and go to that person and share what I'm feeling, then the misperception continues to perpetuate. But here's the thing about expressing your feelings. The other part that I add to this is that sometimes our pride births within us a cynic. And then our cynicism becomes an avoidance mechanism. So I can be very cynical in the way in which I engage and talk about my feelings. And here's what I've learned about cynicism from myself, because this is about me, right? So in my cynicism, what I have learned is that when I am cynical, I then eradicate all hope for solution. All hope for solution. Because I have become invested in my position. And I have cut off my ability to be able to hear. And so, therefore, I stay rooted in my pride. Pride in and of itself is a product of our ego. My definition of ego is about being in separatism. And so, what I also do now then with my pride is I go and I isolate. Because you see, in my isolation, I don't have to deal with my feelings. In my isolation, I get to hold on to the investment of my separation. I get to hold on to my pride. I get to hold on to my pride. That's like I get to hold on to this vial of poison, and I'm going to just sip from it every single time I think about that situation, or every single time I think about that person. I'm just going to take a little sip of this vial of poison that I cherish so greatly. What would it be like for me to take that vial and to empty it out? Dare I become an advocate and an example for true love? It is said that there are 3 gatekeepers for the beauty and the highest vibration of communication. 3 gatekeepers. One is it true? That before we say anything, we pause and we stop and we begin to take responsibility for the fact that what I'm about to say and what I'm about to engage in, is it true? Is it true? The second is, what I'm about to say, is it kind? Is it kind in nature? We have an amazing time in our lives where we have the ability to hide out through social media. We have the ability to comment on things, and most of those comments are not kind. But you, myself, as a student of a change agent, something that's called to a higher ideal, is what we say, is the things that we are saying, are they true and are they kind? And then it culminates around this idea, is it necessary? Is it necessary? Is it necessary for me to give my comment about someone? I have to confess, I have a pet peeve. Well, many pet peeves. I have, this pet peeve is fascinating to me. And it's when a person walks up and they go, "You look tired. You look tired." As if telling me that I look tired is going to infuse me with healing energy, you know? And I might think that I'm looking pretty fab. But in that moment, I go, what? What? You know? You look tired. And I've realized that I've been on the other end of that, where I have said things to people that were not from a loving place, and they weren't necessary. That I've said things to people from a cynical place that were not necessary. That I've isolated from a false belief and a holding on to pride, and it's not necessary. As then I begin to understand those things, realize that I have to practice then leaning in to the inconvenience of my genius. Leaning into the inconvenience of your genius. Think about that for a second while I dance the conga to that cell phone. What does it mean? What does it mean to lean into something? Because you see, if we've started to normalize our mediocrity, then it means that we have begun to justify all the things why we don't have to be a vessel for love. Why should I let go of my pride? They didn't. Why should I seek first to understand? They didn't try to understand me. And then life then becomes what? Just this back and forth tit for tat thing that goes nowhere, that has no elevation whatsoever. And here's the thing that I've learned. If I don't get it now, it's going to come right back again. It doesn't matter what city I move to. It doesn't matter what center I move to. It doesn't matter what workplace that I go and apply to. It doesn't matter what relationship that I escape from and go to. Wherever I go, I take my beliefs with me. I take my energy with me. And my energy is where I last left it. And so the normalization of mediocrity must be recognized within myself in order for me to practice then leaning into the inconvenience of my genius. It's not convenient. It's not convenient to be genius in a world that doesn't support that. It's not convenient to be an advocate for peace and nonviolence in the world that doesn't seem to uphold to that. It doesn't feel convenient in order to shed bipartisan ideals, in order to see the truth and the value of all individuals. It's inconvenient to set my pride down. But if I'm going to be a vessel of true love, I must lean into that. And I must start where I am, with the people that are before me. I must be the first to seek forgiveness, rather than waiting for somebody else to be the one to implement that. I must learn to lean in to the inconvenience of my spiritual nature. And so this week at the conference, I heard a line that just really floored me. And there was a speaker, and he said, "The world wants to see the sermon rather than hear the sermon." I think at times when I am cynical, I am blisteringly lazy. And then at times when I lean into the inconvenience of my genius, I return back to the truth of who and what I am. And so I vow to you to continue to learn how to lean, to be able to overcome this pride and to see, as Neil Donald Walsh so beautifully said, "I've sent you nothing but angels." I've sent you nothing but angels. Quickly, go through the Rolodex of your mind of everybody that you've ever encountered. Angel, 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 angel. Because every single one of them are a part of the whole. When you can really, really get to the place of depersonalizing the world of effect, you can begin to start to see how magnificently this is all laid out for you and I to grow and to capture and to embody and to live and to breathe our true essential nature. And so it is. I think sometimes when people say to me, "Please don't call on me," and then they sit on the back row, that they're out of my field of vision. But Ed, come on up. You didn't think I saw you over there, did you? Would you share with them anything on your heart? And then here's our affirmation for grateful giving.
Well, I wasn't prepared. Okay. I was trying to sit in the back. I just wanted to say that back in 2007, when I became a member actually of this church, we were at the other location. I sat in the church, sometimes in the back, and I actually was divinely inspired. I was going through a time, it was a very dark period in my life, and I was very angry all the time, and I didn't really understand why. And I would sit in the back of the church, and I would just hope to hear the voice of God again, once again, come back through me. And I actually do. I hear him all the time through music. although he did not grant me the gift to sing. Music moves through me, and actually I can hear the voice of God. So one day, hold on just 1 second, just let me catch my breath. As I was listening to God, he actually inspired me to write. I have a kind of a creative mind, and so I did. I started writing, and I couldn't stop, and I found out that the power of the words just kept flowing through me. And the message of the Spiritual Living Center actually came through my book, which is available out here in the bookstore. I sat on it for about 5 years, and I decided to publish it. And it's doing really quite well, and there's a lot of the different teachings inside of the book. And so I just want to say thank you very much to this church for what it has given to me and inspired through me, and through everybody that I meet all the time. So just basically that. I'm just very, very thankful for everything that this church has actually done for me in the past 7 years. And I continue to feel myself grow. And now I'm on the second book of this trilogy and this journey. And hopefully you guys will experience, if you look into the book and buying the book, there's a message enveloped inside of it. I was fortunate enough this week to be asked to speak about my book and to inspire high school students, middle school students, and to talk to some of them and try to inspire them to have the creative process move through them. So let's talk about that, and let's do the affirmation together for gratefulness. As I live in a universe of abundance, as I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly, and so it is. Thank you.
Welcome back to Sound of Light Choir under the direction of Ty Andrews.
Hey y'all, we're back. I am so grateful to be here serving this choir and this community with our music. Thank you so much for your support. We got product, y'all. We got a CD. So after the service, please visit our table and grab a CD. If you already have one, get one for somebody else. And we want you to join us on Tuesday evening. We'll be rehearsing new repertoire for our Easter Sunday. So if you want to sing, or if you want to be in a loving environment that can support you in singing better or singing comfortably, please join us at 7 p.m. The next song we're going to do is called You Are the Universe, featuring our soloist, Burnett Sherman. Sound of Light Choir.
You're the future, and you've come for what is yours, the hidden treasure locked behind the hidden doors, and the promise of a day that's shining new. Only a dreamer could afford this point of view, but you're a driver, not a passenger in life. When you're ready, you don't have to try, 'cause you are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do. You're a winner, so do what you came here for. The secret treasure, come on now, isn't secret anymore. You're a driver, not a passenger in life. And when you're ready, you won't have to drive, 'cause you are the universe, and there ain't nothing you can do. If you conceive it, you can achieve it. That's why I believe in you. Yes, I do. You are the universe,
Wonderful, wonderful. Please remain standing. I'm going to invite our practitioners to come up. They're going to line up here. I'm going to throw one out at you. Would you do the song before we started as the closing? You got it? All right. So they're going to do that praise number again as our close. And that means that you get to come up dancing a little bit to one of these practitioners to allow them to be able to do a wonderful affirmative prayer for you to send you on your way. God bless. Let's sing it. Here we go.